All right, this is the 10-5 lesson we did today. This is going to incorporate several of the different ideas we've been using so far in Chapter 10. So some of you have already been doing this idea of factoring by grouping when you factored things like 2x squared plus 9x plus 7. So those of you that weren't using the area model or the boxes for this, you're going to see when the other method is the same idea I'm using here. So you'll see in this first expression the difference is we have 4 terms. So what we're going to do first is we're going to group 2 at a time. So I'm going to group the first 2 and the second 2. Okay? And then I'm going to say, all right, what is the greatest common factor of those first 2 terms I grouped? And the answer is x. All right, I'm going to factor that out, and that gives me x plus 2. So you can see x times x plus 2 gives me back x squared plus 2x. Plus, that plus got brought down. All right, in this parentheses, what's the greatest common factor of x, y, and 2y? Y. And that gives me x plus 2. Now, this should look familiar to what you did the day before. Remember? We have this term being added with this term. So what do they have in common? They have in common a common factor of x plus 2. What do you have left? After I factor out the x plus 2 here, I'm left with an x plus, and then the y from the second term. And that's all. So this is your final answer, x plus 2, x plus y. I'm going to work through one more with you here, and then I'm going to ask you to pause, work through the other 3, and then check your answers. So again, I'm going to group the first 2 and the second 2. Out of the first 2, my GCF, I'm going to factor out the GCF. Okay. So, sorry, a 3x. So again, if I distribute that 3x back through here, 3x times 5x gives me 15x squared. 3x times negative 2a gives me negative 6ax. Now I'm going to bring down a minus. Greatest common factor of 20cx and 8ac is 4c. All right, when I distribute the negative 4c times what would give me 20cx? 5x. I'm going to put a blank here for a second. 4c, because I think you can get the 2a part. But you have to remember that when you distribute this, you want to get a positive 8. So in order to get a positive 8, this needs to be a minus, because you're distributing a negative 4c into here. So when this sign here is a minus, expect a sign change for back here. And then it looks exactly like the other ones. And there's your answer. So now I'd like you to push pause, and I'd like you to work through these 3 examples. Okay, the answers are here. I did this first one with you. In this one you can see I factored the x squared out and the minus 9. So there's that sign change for you, because if I distribute the negative 9 back through the parentheses, I need to make sure I get a positive 45. Now when I got to here, I pulled the x minus. Notice that x squared minus 9 can be factored further into x plus 3, x minus 3. So this is your final answer. All right, over here I factor out my a. If there's not a greatest common factor here, you could write a 1, because there's always a greatest common factor of 1. And then again over here you can see what I did, and you can check your answer there. Push pause if you need to check. All right, here are 4 more that I would like to see you try. So please work through these, and push pause and work through these. Okay, I have the answers here. Again, you can see I factored out. I think they're okay here. In this one, when you get to the 6x squared plus 15, the first thing I'm going to look for here is a GCF. 6 and 15 have a greatest common factor of 3. So that's where this 3 came from. I factored it out of this expression. It left me 2x squared plus 5. 2x squared plus 5 cannot be factored any further. So we're going to leave it there. But it is good that you check. You could do the discriminant test if you're not sure if something can factor farther down, a binomial or trinomial. If you need help with that, come see me. Okay, the other answers are here with work, so you can check those, push pause if you need to, but that is the end of our 10-5 lesson.